Hi, Ben here from Trident Fly Fishing, back with another quick take. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Douglas ERA, which Douglas claims is the best fly rod for the money. And we're going to find out if it is right now. Now, before we get out and cast this rod, let's talk about some of the features. First and foremost is that this Douglas ERA comes in a 9-foot 5 weight and a 9-foot 8 weight only. And I think that's really great because you're not going to be subsidizing your 9-foot 5 weight purchase so that somebody else can buy a 10-foot 6 weight for the same price. And of course, your 9-foot 5 weight and your 9-foot 8 weight are going to be the two most popular rods for any species across the United States. I wanted to briefly interrupt this review to let you know that this video is supported 100% by your purchases at Trident Fly Fishing. So if you're in the market for some new tackle, check us out at tridentflyfishing.com. Now, this being a value rod, it's not going to have high-end features, and that's pretty apparent. But with that said, everything on here is very functional and at least as nice as everything in the $100 to $200-ish price class. You're going to get a nice up-locking reel seat, a totally fine standard half-wells grip on the 5-weight model, and this rather unique gray blank with some white trim wraps around the label and gray trim wraps around the guides. On the first stripping guide, you've even got this upturned guide, which is going to add a little bit of extra performance, even in this low-priced rod. Then Douglas has got single foot guides going up the rest of the rod. Now, let's take it out in the field and do some casting. So after casting the ERA, a couple things are pretty noticeable. One, it's definitely a medium fast rod, and that's something I really like. Today, we also cast the new TFO Pro 3, which is definitely a faster rod. Both of these rods were cast with the same line, an SA MPX, which is sort of a little bit heavier than a standard line, and a line that we really use a lot and are very comfortable testing rods with. And this Douglas is solidly a half step slower than that Pro 3 is. And I think if you're a beginning angler just getting into the sport, that's actually going to be very, very helpful as you learn how to cast. There's a big difference in being able to tell how much this rod loads versus some of the faster rods out there. And that's just going to make you a better caster in the long run. The trade-off, of course, is it's not going to have the same kind of power and distance that you're going to get out of a true fast action rod. But when you're looking at a medium fast 9-foot 5 weight that's targeted towards the beginner market, that's probably not something you're going to really need to worry about. You're not going to be making those 60, 70 foot casts to a rising trout with this rod. The other thing that you notice with the ERA is that it is a little bit on the heavy side. It's got a swing weight of about 70 gram meters squared, which actually puts it in line with our Atlas 8 weight. It's also pretty much in line with what you're going to be seeing for entry-level rods at the 9-foot 5 weight size. So I don't necessarily feel that it massively detracts from this rod. All in all, there aren't a ton of rods at the $150 price point, and this rod is pretty good, and especially if you're fishing smaller eastern streams, not having to deal with tons and tons of wind. I think this is a really, really great option. And if you pair it with an MPX, you're going to get some really nice enclosed performance, albeit at a slightly heavier weight. Tell us what you think about this rod by leaving a comment in the box below. I'm Ben. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.